All right, welcome back to Coffee Cafe. We are finishing up week 3. All we have left to do here is the trial balance. So, once again, on my journal, I have identified that this is where I stopped my last transaction for week 3. So, that means if everything is correct, then that means when we proceed to week 4, we go ahead and continue on with this page here, and so on and so forth, okay? Now, again, in order for you to need to do your trial balance, all you really need is just your general ledger. Okay? So, and on top of that, your financial forms or your trial balance. Okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to go back through every single account on my general ledger, and I'm going to go through all the accounts and put them in their respective boxes. Now, if you remember from last time, right? I've mentioned to you that a lot of these accounts are going to show up again, and some of them may have their values changed, some may not. Now, what you can do to save some extra time is, since those accounts do appear one more time and they do sometimes not change, what you can do is you can copy the spreadsheet over and then paste or create a new spreadsheet from there. Okay, now here's my trial balance 3. Okay, so this one's already formatted. It's got the exact amount of cells that you need to be able to create this, right? Now here's one or two options. You can go ahead and do what I've been doing, right? In the journal, I simply just copy everything that you see here and pasting it over into this worksheet here. That saves you some time as well. But the only difference is if you do that and you're copying these numbers here, unfortunately, some of them will transfer, some of them will not. So unfortunately, that's not going to be as productive because, again, then you're going to have to end up retyping all the numbers anyways. So that's not going to be very efficient. So a better way to do this, to show you a quick and easier way, is simply to actually make a copy of this, the exact copy of this spreadsheet. So let's take a look. How do I do that? Now, first off, what I need to do is I need to go ahead and delete this sheet right here, right? Because I can't have another duplicate or copy of this exact spreadsheet. So in this case, I'm going to get rid of it because I'm going to make changes to it and change the title of it. So now I got rid of my trial balance 3. So I have trial balance 2 and then trial balance 4. Now what I want to do is I want to make a copy of my trial balance 3 or trial balance 2 and convert it into my trial balance number 3. So how do I do that? So I'm going to go ahead and go down to the tab, right? You're going to click on that tab 2, and then you're going to right click, and then you have the option to move or make a copy. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now, first off, I want to make sure that I place it in the correct order. So I want it to be above trial balance number 4. Okay? Now, here's what you have to do. If you do not select it, what will happen is it will just move the spreadsheet around. No, I want to make a copy of this spreadsheet and place it in front of trial balance number 4. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I click on create a copy and click OK. So then what happens is I now have trial balance 2 and trial balance 2-1 because this is an exact copy. And here's what's so great about creating an exact copy of the spreadsheet. Excuse me. You can modify this spreadsheet however you like, and it will not affect your previous copy. So again, you're not duplicating it to the point where if you make a change in this one, it will copy over to the other one. No, you're making an exact copy and you can make changes to this copy however you'd like. So in this case, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to change the name because I want it to be trial balance number 3. So TB3. Okay? Now, if you have two spreadsheets that have the identical name, you'll get an error code, okay? You have to make them a little different. Okay, that's why you have a trial balance 2 and then you have a trial balance 2-1. Okay, now because I am making this my trial balance 3, it copied everything exactly, including all the numbers, and guess what it also copies over? It copies over the formula. So that means I have an active running formula. So no matter how many values I change in here, it's going to give me my numbers accordingly. So that's why it's better that you do make a copy of the spreadsheet, because instead of doing extra work to reformat it or add the numbers back in there or having to put that formula back in there, it already does it for you automatically. And that's an Excel thing, okay? So that means I'm also going to change this because we're not doing a trial balance for the ending on the week of the 14th. We're doing it on the ending of the week of the 21st. Okay, just a minor change there. Okay, and then now that I have everything correct and ready to go, I can go ahead and start off with my spreadsheets because I have most of my accounts that are already existing here. All I have to do is just add in all my new accounts that I just opened up from, opened up the sales and so on and so forth. So I'll show you what to do from there. Okay, so now I am on trial balance number 3, and let's start off with our assets. So in this case, my checking account. Okay, my current checking account balance is currently at a debit for $2,697.65. Okay, so once again, by me typing in this number and making that change, right? So I changed it from what it was earlier to now to 2,697.65, right? Watch this. So again, when I told you that my formula is active, it also updated my formula that I had down below. And now it's telling me that I have a difference of a negative 1292.27. So again, it's keeping this formula active and refreshing it as you enter in all your data. So in this case, right, instead of having to do that formula over again, it will automatically update it for you. Okay, there you go. So that's that account there. Here's something new. We have a petty cash. Right? We need to add this into my trial balance. Now, what's the rule of thumb of adding any row or any cell in Excel? You can add them individually, right? If I right click on this cell right here, as you can see, it's active. This is cell number A5 here. I can go ahead and insert an actual just one cell. But I don't want to do that. I want to add in a row. So how do I do that? Well, this is what you're going to do. So you're going to identify the location that you want to insert your row. So in this case, right, I want to insert it right in between checking and my medium coffee. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify the number. You want to pick the one that is that you want to insert, and when you insert, it's going to insert the row above. Okay, remember that rule. So if you want a cell in between checking and medium coffee, you need to choose the bottom one out of the two because you're inserting the line above it. Okay, so in this case, how do I go ahead and insert a row? You're going to have to select a particular row number. Okay, so for instance, I'm not clicking the cell medium cups. I'm clicking the number 6. And once you click on the number 6, what you're going to notice is going to highlight the entire row. Once I click on that number 6, then I'm going to right click on that 6. And then it's going to tell me I want to insert or delete. So in this case, I want to insert a row, and watch, it magically shifts all my rows down and inserts a row right above my account that I wanted to put my number in there, right? So that's how you insert a row. And guess what? It also when you insert something like this in there and you have a formula that's in between, it's now going to recalculate the formula and include that into the formula. So that is the beauty of using Excel, is that even though you're modifying the page along the way, everything is connected and you don't have to do any other extra work. So because I made it in between the cell range of A, or in this case B5, right, or B4 in this case, right, and I have it all the way down there, because I insert a row in between that, it will shove that into the range of cells, so then when you do your equal sum formula, it will include that as well. Okay, so again, in this case, I have petty cash. So I'll go ahead and address that I have petty cash. Okay? How much is my petty cash? Right now, it is $500. And it even copies the formatting of what you had from the preceding formula, or from the preceding format, right? So because I formatted everything to be in $sign, it also copied that in there too. All right, and this is what I mean. So check it out. Check out my formula that I have inserted in here, which is my equal sum, right? If you remember, it was 12 something. Now it's down to 792. That's what I mean, that when you're inserting rows or inserting a column, in this case, where the formula is within that column cell range. So because I inserted a line that's new in there, it included into the formula. So again, so instead of having to go through every single account all over again, typing them all in, this saves you extra time, because for the existing counts that already are there, that exist, you don't need to type it in anymore. And all you have to do is adjust the number if it's been changed or not. Okay? So that was my petty cash. So what's next? I have a cash in my register. So again, I want to identify that I want it between my petty cash and my medium. So I'm going to choose the bottom one. I'm going to select the row number, okay? Not the actual cell itself. I need to click on the number 7 here. And since the whole row is highlighted, I'm going to right click and I'm going to go ahead and insert, okay? And there you go. And then now I can go ahead and put in my cash in register, okay? For my $310 debit that I have there. Okay? All right, next account I see on my list is an accounts receivable. Once again, I have to insert another row. So I'm going to insert, and this one's going to be accounts receivable. And my current accounts receivable is currently at
At 66221.
Good, 66221. Right? Let's see what's next. Allowance for doubtful accounts. I haven't gotten there yet, right? So then business supplies is next. My medium cups. Yes, I do have my medium cups. However, is my account balance different than it was for my previous trial balance? Yes. Right? We bought some more cups along the way. So it's no longer $54.12. What is it now?
$162.37.
$162.37. Okay. Next I have is my large cups. This has also changed because we bought more cups. All right. So it's no longer $81. It is now
$243.57.
$243.57. Okay. Next thing I have here is sugar and creamer. Okay, so I have to know that I need to insert two more line items. So insert, okay, for my sugar and for my creamer. Okay, so my sugar right now is
$21.60.
$21.60. my creamer is now at
$48.99.
$48.99. Okay. I have to add one more because I have purchase of office supplies. Oh no, I inserted it the wrong way. I put medium cups. Okay, I have to switch them over. This is what I'm gonna do. For the 21.60 and the 48.99. And I'm going to delete these two. So again, if you have the ability to insert, right, the delete option actually gets rid of it. So there you go. So that's the correct order now. Medium cups, okay, large cups, sugar and creamer. Let's see, what was my creamer account again? Okay, so my creamer is $48.99, making sure I made that one correct. Okay, and then I have my office supplies. Okay, so I need to insert that above my regular coffee. Okay. How much is my office supplies right now?
$150.
150 debit. Okay. Next is inventory, regular coffee. What is my current balance in my regular coffee?
You have a debit of $160.14.
Okay, so it decreased. Okay. And then my Supreme coffee.
Debit of $187.37.
Okay. All right, so this is where the time saving part happens, okay? Next is we don't have ceramic coffee mugs. Furniture, no account balance in furniture. However, what about my tables and chairs? Is it still at $6,605.08?
Yes.
Yes, so no changes there, so you can move on to the next one. What about my counter?
It stayed the same.
It stayed the same at $1193.22. What about my desk?
It's the same as well.
Yep, $658.37. My display shelves, we're just verifying that these numbers are still correct. My display shelves are still at $577.08. Okay, so now we're moving on to office equipment. What about my computer?
It's still the same.
It's still the same, right? It's still at $1,834.84. What about my printer? It's the same at $378.87. And then I have my cash register, which is still at $649.49. Okay. Now we're going into equipment. Okay. What about my coffee brewers?
We did put the other one into service, so it has changed. Last week.
Last week we've already done that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, it's already in there at $4,527.95. So that one's still the same. Okay. This is what we did this week, right? We finally moved our coffee brewer or coffee grinder, right? So I'm going to put that in between the fridge. We finally have my coffee grinder. What is it? What is the account balance amount?
415807.
415807. Good. All right. We recorded our refrigerator at $3,495.34. So that's still there. Okay. Vehicles. Yes, did we record that we acquired a truck for $32,208.90? Yes, we did. Okay. Next, let's see. Do we have any prepaid accounts? What's my account balance in my prepaid accounts?
It looks like it stayed the same.
It's the same. It's still $66.54.17, right? My deposits is still at $1,700, and my goodwill is still at $2,100. But here's the difference. Do I have an account balance for my miscellaneous expense?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I have that. Oops. I have my miscellaneous expense account as 0. Now, is there any point to keep my miscellaneous expense account on my trial balance?
On the chance that in the next one we have something that goes into there, it's always better to leave it there than take it off.
Exactly, right? So maybe we're done for it for this week, but maybe next week we might incur a miscellaneous account again. So if for any reasons that you don't want it to display on your Excel spreadsheet, you have the abilities to hide this row. All right, even though the 0 doesn't really matter, you can choose to delete it and then add it again next time. But if you want to hide it off of your on your worksheet, you can also have the capabilities of doing that as well. So if I want to hide my miscellaneous expense, so I go ahead and highlight the rows by clicking on the number 30, row 30, and I'm going to right click it, and then I have the option to hide. So what happens is it shrinks it up and it doesn't display that account anymore. But if you actually really think about it, you go from 29 to 31. You obviously know that there's a missing number in between. So of course, if you go ahead and put your number on that line again, and you see that there is that double arrow looking line break there, you could go ahead and right click that and unhide it. So then there, boom, there's my miscellaneous expense account. All right, so that's what you can do too, and I'm going to go ahead and hide it. You can also too, if you want to, you could actually click and drag it out too, so you could actually view it. But in this case, again, that's what you can do. So that's another cool feature about Excel, is that you can have it display what you want it to display. In this case, I'm hiding my miscellaneous expense because I already recorded it with 0. That makes no effect on my debits or credits, so that therefore I do not need to have that there. Okay. So now we're done with our assets. We can now move on to our liabilities. So starting with the very first liability that we have here is my accounts payable account. So let's see, what is my account balance now? It's definitely not 19 anymore. We paid some debt off, right? So what is it now?
$16,374.95.
Okay. 16,374.95. Perfect. Okay. All right. What about my Visa credit card?
That has changed as well. It's $903.07.
Okay, good, right? We incurred some more credit card charges, so it's at $903.07. Okay. What about my accounts payable? Or I'm sorry, notes payable.
That remained the same.
That remained the same. So again, any payroll liabilities? No, we haven't issued payroll yet. So no need for that. So we can skip all of these accounts here. Any utilities payable? No, nothing there. Okay. How about any unearned revenue? Well, no customer has paid us ahead of time yet. And then we got sales tax payable. Yes, we started collecting sales tax. So in this case, I need to create an account right above my truck loan. Okay. And we're going to call this sales tax payable. Okay. How much money do I owe the state and local government?
Credit 326.86.
326.86. Okay. And then let's see what else we have here. No interest payable yet. Loans, right? We only identified one loan, which is my truck loan, which is still outstanding for $29,221.90, right? No payments to the truck loan yet. Okay. So then I'm moving on to equity. As far as my best knowledge, we haven't had any changes to equity, right? We're still starting out with $30,000 as my original investment, and I still only recorded one withdrawal for that $3,000. So in this case, nothing for equity has changed. Okay, so there you go. Save some time from having to type all that stuff in there again. Revenues. Yes, we just started opening up our business, so that means we need to record every single revenue that we have encountered. So that means you're going to list out every single sales item that you have on here, starting with your very first one, which is your sales for regular coffee. So in this case, if you want to go ahead and enter them in one at a time, you can do that, but I'm going to go ahead and start counting how many lines I need to insert, right? So we need one for sales for regular coffee. We need one for sales for Supreme Coffee. No, there's no quicker way to insert a row, multiple rows in one sitting. You're gonna have to unfortunately do one at a time. I believe you can go ahead and select a couple rows and add them in there, but again, you want to be careful of how many rows that you're inserting because you don't want to put too many. So that is ceramic coffee mugs. Then we have to add in all of the sizes, which is 4. So I need to do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we had sales discount. And we had delivery income. Okay, so you can go ahead and take the time to just type them out one at a time. So in this case, the first thing that we're recording is going to be my sales for the regular coffee. Right, which is going to be a credit balance here for how much?
$246.75.
$246.75. Okay. Next account I have is my sales for Supreme Coffee. My account balance is
$259.35.
$259.35. Good. Then the next one is the ceramic coffee mugs. What's my account balance there?
$466.19.
Oh, $466.19. Oh, I did type that in correctly. $466.19. Okay. On the credit side. Okay. What else do we have here? We have our sales for medium regular coffee for
$839.78.
$839.78. Okay. Then I have my large Red coffee.
for $12.70.75.
12.70.75. Okay. Then I have my medium supreme coffee.
For $1,093.11.
Okay, 1,093.11. Okay. And then what about my sales for large supreme coffee?
$1,532.11.
1532.11. Okay, on the credit side. And then I have sales. Oh, I forgot sales returns and allowances. So sales returns and allowance.
$9.98.
And this time, my sales returns and allowance is a debit balance for $9.98. Okay. I also have a sales discount. So I need to insert one more because I forgot about the return. So here's sales discount, okay, for
$990.48.
so once again, it's on the debit side. And then delivery income.
That's on credit again for $90.
Okay, good. And then interest income is the last one. All right. So now we're finally done with our for our income, right? We listed out all of our sales. So then now we have to do cost of goods sold. Okay, so in this case, there's only two accounts for the cost of goods sold. So let me go ahead and insert two more rows here above my advertising expense. One for the cost of for regular coffee, and then add the COGS for supreme coffee.
And the regular is $242.11 on the debit.
On the debit, $242.11. And my supreme,
Also on the debit, it's $266.13.
$266.13. Awesome. All right, then that's it for the expenses because we haven't done the COGS for the ceramic coffee mugs yet, or we haven't done the cost of materials yet. So those are going to be done at the end of the accounting period. Okay. And then last but not least, operating expenses. Starting with the first one, which we already have, advertising expense.
Stayed the same.
Stayed the same at $185. Next, business expense or bank fees. None there. Business expenses.
$1,000.
Still the same, $1,000.
Yes.
Okay. What about freight expense?
That has changed to $200.
Okay, $200 for freight expense. Next we have here is your insurance expense.
It stayed the same.
For your insurance expense, it is $395.83. So yes, it stayed the same. Okay. Next we have interest expense, nothing there. Labor expense, right, is broken down to subcontractor expense. Do I still have that?
Yes, we do. Still for $18.90.
Still for $18.90, right? But now we have a temporary labor expense. So I have to add that in there above license and permit expense. Okay? So how much was my temporary work?
$360.
Okay? License and permit expense, still at $375.
Right.
Loss on disposal of asset,
$2,000
still the same. Okay. Let's see. Office supplies expense. We haven't reached the accounting period yet at the end of it, so we don't need to make our adjustment yet. Payroll. We haven't done payroll yet, so we can skip all of that. Purchase expense.
Okay, that has changed. It has now turned to debit of $392.80.
$392.80. All right. Rent expense. Or actually, purchase returns and allowances. Oh, I do have a purchase returns and allowance. So I got to insert that in there.
It's $9.84.
$9.84. Now watch this. It's on the credit side. So make sure that it is on the credit side here. Okay. Any purchase discounts? Not yet. How about rent expense?
It's still the $1,500 debit.
Good. And last but not least, we incurred
a travel expense for a debit of $91.54.
Okay, travel expenses. Okay, for $91.54 on the debit. Okay. So let's see, do we have anything else besides that? For instance, let's see, do we have any utilities expense? Not yet. Do we incur any bad debt expense, depreciation expense, and amortization expense? So no. So let's go ahead and see if, okay, if you want to, sometimes for any reason that you are, what do you call it? Your formula is stuck. Just go ahead and reactivate it by just running your formula in there again. And then it should. Now in this case, it says I'm off by 30 cents. Oh, I think it was. I'm off by 30 cents. Let's see. Am I off on the debit side? I am on debit side. I have 30 cents too much. Okay. So let me see. What was my travel again? 91.54. All right. So first rule of thumb here is you're just gonna have to go through all your accounts again. So let's go through. Let's go backwards to find where that 30 cents mistake is, and then if not, you're gonna have to go through your entire journal. Okay, I found it. Oh wait, nope. It's still $9.84. That was correct. $392.80. Okay. $2,375. $360. $18.90 is the same. We got 395.83. We got 200. We got 1,000, and then we got the same advertising expense. So all of my expenses are correct. Okay, let me see if I made any typos up here. Cost of goods sold. $166.13. Okay. $242.11. Okay, so let's go to my revenues. Okay, $90 revenue. Okay, my returns and my discount is raha. I made a typo here. I put $9.90.78, so it's actually $9.90.48. There's my 30 cent difference here. So again, I accidentally fat fingered the 7 instead of the 4 on my number pad. So there you go. Boom. My debits and my credits have equaled, and I found my difference, right? I copied the number wrong right there. Okay, so remember, if you do end up getting a discrepancy, that's the rule of thumb is first double check are all your numbers matching from your ledger to your trial balance, because usually, again, transfer information, you maybe did this too quickly or we accidentally fat finger a number. There you go. That's your first that's the first thing you got to do. If everything in your ledger is matching your trial balance, then the second step you have to do is you're going to unfortunately have to go through every single transaction up to the second trial balance to the third trial balance. So that means since we did our second trial balance and it came out perfectly even, that means you made a mistake between your transactions between the 15 all the way to the 21st. That means you either forgot a number to transfer into your ledger, and that's what caused you to have that discrepancy. So that's what you would have to do when you, if you find an imbalance in the numbers. Okay? But in this case, I already found my mistake, and guess what? We matched our trial balance with a grand total of $83,284.15 of debits and credits. Okay? And that means we did our accounting accurately. Awesome. Any questions in regards to the trial balance or anything that happened in week 3?